I don't think that the impeachment is the best strategy. I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve to be. There needs to be a reaction to what happened. I just think that it might be not the best reaction. Okay, so because if you listen to everything Trump said before this whole mess happened, okay, and I don't want to dismiss how big of an event this was, because I think every single one of these people that showed up, that managed to actually get inside the Congress, right, inside the building, every single one of them need to be arrested and charged. Okay, they can defend themselves, and if like one of them comes out like, oh, I have no idea, they told me to go this way and I went this way and that's why I'm inside, yeah, you could defend yourself after you're arrested, but every single one of them need to be found and arrested, right? So but how much Trump incited, like right now they're impeaching him, I think, based on incitement of violence. Is that what they're impeaching him on?
Incitement to insurrection.
To insurrection. So that's going to be hard to prove if you actually listen. Like, I understand that it's very obvious to us that what led to another, but it's because if you listen to everything he said, there is a way for him to legally defend that he didn't, right? I think there's an easier way to, maybe I'm incorrect, you guys could tell me, okay, this might be completely wrong, okay, but this is what the nation has suggested, and it's easier to prove, and it's also easier to, it requires a simple majority rather than a super majority, okay? And it's a bigger punishment because impeachment will just get him out of, like, he's already leaving, right? I know it's symbolic and all, but we also want to be practical. This one will actually hurt, and it will basically paralyze the entire Trump for a second term, right? So this is what the nation has said. Bar Trump from ever holding office again. And they're saying on Friday, when House Democrats discussed responses to Trump's incitement of insurrection, there was some discussion of a 14th Amendment. So the one that they're using now is the 25th. What is that?
The 25th Amendment, if the president is unfit for office and the vice president and cabinet members can,
So that's not going to happen unless Pence, So if
Pence
that's
said he won't do that.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen. Then the impeachment one, even though if that goes through, they're not going to get a supermajority for that. So that's just going to be mostly symbolic. This 14th Amendment one, it seems like a great strategy. Okay, so the 14th Amendment strategy for barring Trump for holding office in the future. Section 3 of the amendment declares no person shall be a senator or a representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislator or an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given, okay, this is the key part, not just engage in insurrection or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. So this one is so much easier to prove because you don't even have to prove that they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion. You just have to prove that they have given aid or comfort. When, like, for example, when Trump came and said, we love you, right? That's just like, you don't have to have a statement, him coming out and saying like, oh yeah, storm the Capitol. Because when he said go to the Capitol, he didn't say like do a coup. He didn't say like be violent. He didn't say anything. So that impeachment one is hard to prove. But this 14th Amendment, the only thing you have to show is that he gave aid or comfort, which he so obviously did, right? This is easier to prove. But the beautiful thing about this is Section 5 of the amendment, which was enacted after the Civil War. So I don't want to read this one. Okay, here. So Eric Forner, which is suggests that the House could with a simple majority. So unlike the impeachment, which requires a supermajority, this requires a simple majority. Vote censor Trump for inciting insurrection and effectively bar him from running again for presidency. The impeachment will get him out. What would it do? Nothing. This will save us from Trump from a 2024 run. This will actually have material impact.
I think the only thing is that comfort, I think traditionally, I could be completely wrong. I think it may refer more to like housing such people, like hospitality.
No, it says aid, given aid.
No, I was focusing specifically on the comfort exclusively.
Yeah,
not just in terms of saying we love you, or whatever. I think I could be wrong. I think it might be more about like giving hospitality to such persons.
Yeah, this is actually something, what Armin is saying. Like I completely agree with you, and this is the Washington Post has written about this, and there's a lot of people who are now talking about using the 14th Amendment as an alternative to impeachment. I actually think that it's on the table. I think the Democrats are considering it. Like they have the 25th Amendment thing is not going to happen. The impeachment thing could very well happen now that Mitch McConnell has kind of indicated that he thinks it was an impeachable offense and he's furious. So with more Republicans turning, I mean, if they're going to do the impeachment vote in the House tomorrow, by this time, you'll already know at least part of the outcome. If you're listening to this on your podcast app, if you're listening to the audio, you're already going to know what kind of, at least part of what's happening with this. But that is another alternative to it. And I can guarantee you that they're all considering it, the 14th Amendment, Section 3.
You really? Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Because that would basically mean that Trump supporters have saved us from Trump running again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, Trump running again, even if he doesn't win, will be so goddamn destructive.
Mm-hmm.
So if Trump supporters can gift us him never being able to run again, that would be such poetic justice. It's fantastic.
Oh, like, I would totally reach out to them then. You know how they say you got to reach out to Trump? I'd reach out like, guys, thank you so much. Come in. Like, let's hang out.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.